Alright, this company was established in 2004 in Shenzhen. It launched its AI-empowered POC LMR system, which is capable of integrating Android, Linux and DMR-based products. It offers audio and video terminals with intelligent identification features, continuously invests in network infrastructure, and in addition to this, the company invests 30% of its revenue into product development, and about 40% of the employees are working in research and development. And when I was researching the website, I came across a full range of communication solutions, such as a private server solution, a gateway solution, a repeater solution, a remote speak on my phone solution, radios according to the DMR standard, POC radios, and even a full range of non-keypad analog radios. Anyway, I received 2 POC radios and access to the Inrico POC software platform. And by the way, this platform is the same platform that the Armed Forces of the Philippine Special Operations Command, or so-called AFSOCOM, has recently chosen for its communications between the military bases across the country. Okay, that's enough about the company, so let me now focus on what's inside this box. And that box is probably still in my safe, but if all went well at the side of Inrico, I should have received 2 POC radios. The S300, which is a modern, sleek and rugged POC radio with a smartphone design, and the T522A, or so-called T522A, which is a more traditional PMR-like POC radio with a minimalistic design. But first, let me find the box in which the radios are being shipped in. Alright, let's do some unboxing first, and let's start with a more traditional PTT-like radio, the T522A. When opening the brown cardboard box, all of the necessary items were included. So I found a programming cable, the radio itself, the stubby antenna, and even a cover for the SIM card slot. Furthermore, I found a quick setup guide, a belt clip, a power cable, and the cradle for charging the radio, and the battery. Alright, so that was the quick unboxing of the T522A. Now let's unbox the S300. I received the S300 in a nice white box with gold colored text. And as a matter of fact, unboxing the S300 gives me the feeling that I am unboxing a new iPhone. The radio is nicely wrapped in a plastic sleeve, and when looking further I found a quick setup guide, a charging cable, USB charger, a strap and a little screwdriver. Of course, in order to be able to communicate, the radios need to be equipped with the Inrico POC application. That's available for download in the App Store and in the Google Play Store. So in order to get this all tested, I installed the app on my iPhone, and after finalizing the installation procedure that only took actually a few seconds, and entering my login details and password, I was able to communicate instantly. Testing. With the possibility to use PDT over cellular, many traditional PMR manufacturers have developed their own POC communications platform, and so did Inrico. However, when taking a closer look at the portfolio of Inrico, I think the company has an edge. Inrico is one of the few manufacturers out there offering its own developed POC hardware and POC software solutions. In reality, this means that the company has fine-tuned their POC ecosystem in order to offer the end user a complete and well-balanced communications portfolio. Well, on its website, Inrico advertises that their POC communications platform is highly scalable and offers a combination of voice and data capabilities such as video, mapping, dispatch, multimedia, instant messaging, SOS and reporting, and task distribution capabilities. So before we talk about these 2 radios, let's take a closer look at the app. You immediately can see that the app is built for easy operation. It's intuitive and it doesn't have a wide variety of menu settings. Basically, the app is just designed for push-to-talk, and that's what we're talking all about, right? However, I was able to change a few settings, of course, such as floating PDT button, as well as a floating SOS button. But honestly, I think a floating SOS button is not something you probably want to use, taking in mind that it's very easy to touch the SOS button coincidentally when you're touching the screen. Okay, furthermore, the app shows you the location of your group members and allows you to initiate encryption, amongst other things, of course. So some of the features of the app are multi-group ambient listening, multi-level dispatch, priority setup, map dispatch, message dispatch, SOS alarm, voice recording, gateway, AES-256 bit encryption, patrol management, geofencing, GPS positioning, OTAP, and remote programmable feeds. After working with these radios for over 1 week now, I'm actually interested in how Inrico supports this POC communications platform. That is why I managed to set up a call with Witty Wang, who is the EMEA sales manager at Inrico. Hopefully Witty can explain in more detail on how Inrico manages these servers and how they support communications platform on a worldwide basis. Witty, when I went through all of the information about Inrico, you guys are using servers worldwide to support your POC communications platform, right? So
Yes.
I was just wondering, how many servers do you have installed all over the world?
Thank you for your question. So far, we have deployed over 30 cloud servers in the main region and countries to ensure the communication efficiencies for our users globally. We have servers in United States, in Hong Kong, and Singapore, and South Africa. Also, we also have a server in Germany.
Okay, and how do you support those servers? Because they're located far away from China.
Yes,
do you
yes.
work with partners?
Actually, if we have a client who would like to build the servers locally, we will help our client to build the server remotely, because we have our Inrico platform software. We can remotely build the servers for our client locally. All of our platform and the device are all support the AES 256 encryptions, so it is very secured.
Okay, is that end-to-end encryption from radio to radio or from server to server?
No matter for the server to server, but also the device to device.
So thank you very much for your call. Much appreciated.
Thank you all the fans.
Browsing the website of Inrico, I found a total of 16 different radios in the POC portfolio. To me, this means that with this portfolio, Inrico is well positioned to cover a large group of different end users. But probably where you are really interested in are my thoughts about these two radios in combination with the POC platform. So let's take a closer look. By the way, I will not be summing up all of the specifications just like that, but instead of this, I will focus on the things that really caught my eye with those two radios. So starting with the T522A, that's this device. The battery can easily be connected and feels locked into the radio. The stubby antenna feels, well, stubby, and it reminds me on the fact that this is a POC radio using a 4G connection. It's a screw-on antenna and it takes a few extra turns before it's really locked into place. When putting the radio into the cradle, there is no unnecessary space between the cradle and the radio, so the radio fits very well. When using the radio, due to the ergonomic design, the radio fits perfectly in my hand. However, it feels a little bit bulky because of the thickness of the radio. And compared to similar radios, the radio is a little bit thicker. Oh yeah, I almost forgot another important thing. Both the rotary knobs are well positioned. The knob to select the talk group has a nice click, and the emergency button is easy to reach but not too easy. So overall, this radio feels just as it's supposed to be, rugged. The S300, that's this radio, is a POC radio that meets almost the design of the Hytera PNC 550. The S300 is a slim smartphone with POC capability, and in more detail it's an ultra-thin 15.5mm smart 4G radio with a big 5-inch display. That means the 810G mil standard. Remarkably to see is that the battery is screwed onto the radio. You can see that through the different screws over here. Compared to many other smart radios, I think this is a big advantage. In this way, the end user will not be able to wrongly install the battery with a chance of water intrusion. But even more impressive is the 30 megapixel camera on the front and the 5 megapixel camera on the back. It allows the end user to shoot HD resolution pictures and video, and this is important when photo or video evidence of a crime needs to be validated by court. Of course, as a photographer and videographer, I'm always very interested to know about the photo and video quality, so I went outside to check whether this meets the demand of today's end user. Let's compare the photo capabilities and the video capabilities with my basic iPhone actually. And that is just a standard iPhone released 2 years ago. It's not one of the latest. So let's first check the image quality of the photo, and let's make a short video. Okay, so I recorded video and photos from the iPhone and from the S300. Let's compare the two inside of the office. With the comparison between the iPhone and the S300, you need to be aware that the camera of the iPhone is a wide-angle camera and the camera of the S300 provides a so-called cropped image. Both pictures are shot in HD, which is the highest resolution of the S300. When looking at the images at the same focal length, you will probably see that the iPhone has a better dynamic range in the highlights, and when looking at the building at the other side of the street, you can see more details. However, when looking at the image of the S300 nearby, there are more details visible compared to the iPhone. Okay, when we look at the overall video quality, I need to state that there is no image stabilization in the S300. The video footage is a little bit shaky and the colors are a little bit warmer compared to the iPhone, but that's a personal thing. But let's be realistic here. The S300 was never intended to be a full-frame camera. It's a communications device and the quality is sufficient in most of the cases. Let me finalize my review of the S300. When taking a close look at the specs, the radio almost meets the high specifications of the Hytera PNC 550 POC radio. Both radios are having the same 5-inch display, Bluetooth 4.x, USB Type-C, but the S300 is 40 grams lighter, it has a larger battery capacity and the audio output of 3 watt instead of 2 watt with the PNC 550. And, as said earlier, the radio has a battery cover that is screwed onto the radio. Okay, this leaves me talking about some of the features of the dispatching software, which is a very important item in the complete portfolio. I installed the software on my Mac using Windows Parallels. When opening the dispatch software, I find that all of the toll groups are clearly displayed on the left side of the screen. In the top menu you will find the most important tools such as the location of the devices as well as reporting and broadcasting and geofence capabilities. And when initiating an SOS through one of the radios, the location of the device is visible for the dispatcher and is clearly visible on the map as well. At the same time, the dispatching software initialized ambience listening in order for the dispatcher to talk to the person who is in need. Furthermore, the dispatcher has all of the necessary tools to manage the radios from his position. The dispatcher can encrypt the radio, stun the radio, initiate a private call, and so on. Okay, that's about the dispatching software, and there's much more to talk about, but this leaves me with the final conclusion. With a complete portfolio of radios, dispatching software, its own servers around the globe, and the support given via local partners, I think Inrico is able to deliver full-service communication solutions for a wide variety of end users. But by fine-tuning the offerings, I think that Inrico is a great one-stop shop for those who need to set up a complete POC communication solution in a short time frame.